Have you ever wondered if your smart home could be the biggest cybersecurity risk you're not thinking about? In 2025, voice assistants, smart thermostats, and connected cameras are everywhere. They're convenient, responsive, and even a little magical. But behind that convenience is a growing danger, and most people have no idea how exposed they really are. At Quantum Cyber AI, we dive deep into how artificial intelligence is transforming cybersecurity, both for better and worse. And today, we're unpacking one of the most overlooked problems in digital life: the cybersecurity risks buried inside your own home. Let's start with the basics. The global smart home security market is booming. It was valued at $28.4 billion in 2023 and is expected to skyrocket past $107 billion by 2033. That growth isn't just about new gadgets. It's about how many devices we're inviting into our lives. And each one adds a new vulnerability. Think about it. A $10 smart plug from a budget vendor could open the door to your entire home network. That's not theoretical. It's happening now. Smart home cybersecurity lags far behind the technology curve. Devices are rushed to market to meet demand. Manufacturers prioritize features, design, and low cost. Security is often an afterthought, if it's considered at all. And with nearly 19 billion connected IoT devices expected by the end of 2024, every single one becomes another attack vector. Smart bulbs, baby monitors, door locks, garage sensors, they're all connected, and many are shockingly easy to compromise. Even more concerning, most users don't know what data their devices collect or where it's going. Default settings often favor ease of use over privacy, and few people adjust them. That lack of control makes it easy for attackers to exploit devices silently. Let's look at some real-world breaches that expose just how fragile these systems are. In 2016, the Mirai botnet hijacked hundreds of thousands of smart cameras and routers by exploiting default usernames and passwords. The result was a massive DDoS attack that brought down Twitter, Netflix, and major parts of the internet. The scary part? The same type of vulnerability still exists in many devices today. More recently, a 2022 study found firmware flaws in Scener smart locks that allowed remote unlocking. Other systems have been jammed with radio interference or manipulated through over-the-air exploits. In one case, researchers exploited Samsung's SmartThings platform to trigger fire alarms and unlock doors remotely. And smart assistants like Alexa and Google Home have already been manipulated using ultrasonic commands and deepfake audio. These aren't isolated incidents. They're signals of a much larger problem: supply chain vulnerabilities, unpatched firmware, and lack of oversight. Why do smart devices lag behind other technologies in cybersecurity? First, the ecosystem is fragmented. There's no consistent set of standards across brands, countries, or platforms. The NIST has issued guidance, but compliance is voluntary and rarely enforced. Second, manufacturers are under intense pressure to release cheap, fast, and user-friendly devices. That usually means security gets sacrificed. Many rely on what's called security through obscurity, hoping that attackers just won't bother. Third, many devices simply can't be patched. No over-the-air updates. No way to upgrade. If a flaw is discovered, you may have to replace the device entirely. And finally, users often contribute to the problem. Default credentials go unchanged. Networks aren't segmented. Security features are disabled out of convenience or not used at all. All of this is now being amplified by AI. Artificial intelligence allows attackers to automate reconnaissance, scan home networks, identify weak firmware, and deploy targeted exploits with speed and precision. Deepfake voice commands can now impersonate your voice to manipulate smart assistants. AI can poison machine learning models in smart cameras and sensors, causing them to ignore threats or misclassify behavior. As defenses lag, the attack surface keeps expanding. So what can be done? At the individual level, segment your network. Put IoT devices on a separate network from your laptops and phones. Change every default password. Disable any feature you're not actively using, including remote access. And when possible, choose devices that support firmware updates. We cover smart home cybersecurity threats like this in our newsletter. Subscribe on our site to get regular updates and best practices. At the manufacturer level, it's time to stop treating security as optional. Secure by design must be the standard. That means building devices with encryption, patch support, and minimal default exposure. Manufacturers should publish vulnerability disclosure timelines and support OTA updates for a minimum life cycle. At the policy level, governments and regulators must take this seriously. NIST has developed benchmarks for router security and product labeling, but it's not enough. We need mandatory security requirements for consumer-grade devices. There should be penalties for companies that knowingly ship unpatched vulnerabilities. And we needed public investment in education and awareness. Zero trust principles can also apply at home. In this model, no device is automatically trusted, not even inside your own network. Every device must authenticate. Every action should be encrypted. And no device should have access to anything it doesn't absolutely need. But this isn't just a consumer tech issue. There are national security implications too. Imagine a smart speaker in the home of a government official being used to eavesdrop, or a compromised baby monitor near a diplomat. These aren't hypotheticals. They're real threats that require serious mitigation. Mass surveillance is no longer the domain of state actors. If you own a device from a major tech company, your data may already be shared across a wide ecosystem. Many of these tools are always on, always listening, and barely protected. And when things go wrong, the legal system isn't ready. If your hacked doorbell camera exposes footage of your home, who's liable? What happens when insurance companies refuse to cover breaches caused by insecure IoT products? This is where we are in 2020. The good news: change is happening. We're seeing early momentum for AI-enhanced defensive platforms. Certification programs are coming, and users are finally asking the right questions. But we needed more of a pressure from all sides, from consumers, from lawmakers, and from industry leaders who understand what's at stake. Smart homes shouldn't be dumb about security. Thanks for watching. At Quantum Cyber AI, we explore how artificial intelligence is reshaping security from your front door to national defense. If you found this video helpful, like it, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below with your biggest smart home concern. And if you're building a smarter home or trying to protect one, you'll want to stick with us. We've got much more coming. It could start like 1,000 other videos. Shaky footage, a podium, the seal of a world leader. But within minutes, the internet would explode. Millions would watch a clip of a president declaring war, only it's not real. It's a deep fake. At Quantum Cyber AI, we track emerging digital threats like this. And in 2025, few are more urgent than AI-generated disinformation. Deepfakes have evolved from fringe novelties into powerful tools for deception. What was once meme material is now a national security threat, capable of destabilizing democracies, crashing financial markets, and sowing distrust at scale. Let's start with how we got here. 5 years ago, deepfakes were mostly used for pranks or viral videos. But today, they're part of a global arms race. With tools like Deepface Lab and 11 Labs now accessible to anyone, cyber criminals and state actors are pushing the boundaries. Real-time deepfakes are no longer science fiction. They're happening. A synthetic video of the US president fluently speaking Mandarin. We've seen it. These tools aren't just being used by governments. Cybercrime syndicates now sell disinformation as a service. You can literally subscribe to a package that gives you synthetic influencers, AI-generated video and audio content, and tools to schedule releases, all designed to flood platforms like YouTube and TikTok. These campaigns use botnets to amplify engagement, making fake content look real and viral. And the actors behind it: nation-states, ideological collectives, organized criminals, even rogue communities from the dark web are using AI-generated disinformation as a weapon of disruption. Some of them aren't even after money. They're in it to cause chaos. We've already seen the consequences. In 2024, just before European elections, a synthetic video showed a leading candidate confessing to election fraud. The video spread like wildfire. The candidate's polling numbers collapsed. Post-election analysis confirmed it was a deep fake, but the damage was done. In 2025, markets were rocked when a fake video showed a major tech CEO announcing his resignation. Shares plummeted over 11% before the company even issued a denial. The impersonation was so good, even experienced investors were fooled. And then there's the TikTok PsyOps leak. A January 2025 intelligence report revealed AI-generated influencers, relatable, stylish, and algorithmically boosted, were spreading propaganda to American teens. Vaccine conspiracies, anti-democracy rhetoric, you name it. These weren't clunky or obvious fakes. They were designed to bypass your skepticism. So, can we even trust what we see anymore? Deepfake detection has improved, but it's far from perfect. Today's AI can generate content specifically to avoid those tools. The best detectors miss up to 50% of high-quality deepfakes. Newer technologies like C2PA and blockchain watermarks help verify media authenticity, but adoption is slow and implementation inconsistent. What's emerging is a hybrid defense model: human analysts paired with AI detection tools. OSINT, teams like Bellingcat, are teaming up with labs to fight back. But it's a race, and right now we're behind. Meanwhile, traditional media literacy, teaching people to think critically, just isn't enough. The scale, realism, and speed of AI-generated disinformation overwhelms even the savviest users. Worse, it breeds cynicism. People stop trusting everything, even the truth. Legally, we're not ready either. Most countries don't have comprehensive deepfake laws. The US has scattered state-level rules. The EU is trying, but enforcement lags. Without unified regulation, bad actors hide in loopholes. Platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Meta have added basic tools, but they're often reactive, too late to stop the spread. So what can be done? We need coordinated action, faster cross-platform response, global legal standards, provenance tech that integrates into every platform, and a public response that counters not just misinformation, but the hopelessness it creates. Because the threat is no longer hypothetical. It's here, and if we don't act, we risk losing the line between real and fake forever. Subscribe to Quantum Cyber AI for weekly updates on cyber threats, disinformation trends, and the technologies that could save or sink us.